Wait a minute, did she hallucinate this dude before she shot? Because that opens up a can of worms. If she thought she was shooting turkeys, this shot is awful. If she thought she was shooting at this dude, she's awful. Hero in the sequel has PTSD about the events in the previous film cliché. How do the companies that create these video displays stay in business? This picture is awful, and it looks way less convenient than technology we currently have today. Hey, I want a video playing device that has a transparent image so I can also look behind it while I watch it. Convoluted plot development has the president of the entire society forcing Katniss to pretend to be in love just to serve this weak-ass love triangle that was weak-ass already in the first f***ing movie. Oh yeah, apparently everything in this society is videotaped. Probably mentioned in the book somewhere, but it sure as surprised me. Answer me this, assholes. Why the f*** do they need cameras right outside her door if they can just pull up high-definition video of her randomly kissing in an alley any old time they want?
All you need to do is give a few speeches, wave to the crowds.
Alright, 14 minutes in and they're about to do what we came to see. Speeches and waving.
I said, enjoy it, Katniss. You've earned it. By killing people.
If I recall, you barely killed anyone in the last movie. You nearly got through the whole thing without having to do it once. And one of the bad guys conveniently killed your new friend Rue for you. And Peeta didn't kill anyone that I recall. He was too busy camouflaging himself to look like a tree to kill anyone. If the information in that room is that sensitive, why have the door cracked open in the first place, huh, asshole?
I'm really not in the mood for a lecture. I'll apologize to Effie later. Here, Haymitch.
You might have been expecting a lecture, but would it have hurt you to make the tiniest of glances in that direction to make sure it was him before you started ranting?
See, Katniss, the way the whole friend thing works is you have to tell each other the deep stuff.
See, I said the exact same sentence to a girl once, but I swapped the word give instead of tell. It was not well received.
Green. What's yours?
Later on, when this movie is over and you realize it's f***ing 2.5 hours long, the scene about the favorite colors begins to feel less and less important. Rue looks a year older than she did when she died. Putting away script to say something heartfelt cliché. These people still have no idea how to properly flip someone off. Shouldn't President Snow be able to watch and listen to this conversation with his omniscient cameras?
He's worried about rebellion in the districts. He thinks that they don't believe our love story.
You know, Katniss, you should have told me that before I went out there and tried to give these people the money.
Dude, you went off script, remember? Also, what does any of this have to do with making the people believe you guys are madly in love? The guy got killed because he did the Mockingjay thing while Katniss gave her eulogy.
What about them? Who protects them?
Haymitch suddenly cares about non-Haymitch people.
Katniss, what were you thinking?
It sounded like she was paying tribute to Rue. Didn't Effie say it was customary to give eulogies? Even if Katniss and Peeta had made out on stage, wouldn't the eulogy part still have potentially led to that guy getting shot, even if they were reading off cards? I am f***ing confused. He looks pretty good for a guy who was shot in the head. Come to think of it, the steps look immaculate.
Peeta, will you stay with me?
Ah, geez, she's not actually gonna fall in love with him now, is she? I barely understand this thing when Snow was watching it at the Everdeen house, but his own house? Is this the best a rich man can do with TV technology in the future? Even though Katniss and Peeta have been taken off stage, the broadcast is still showing all the angry people.
Instead of being in love, you two sound like you're reciting from a drilling manual.
You guys are still going with the we've gotta show them how much in love we are angle? After all you've seen, does that shit really matter?
You could get married.
All these people are rioting because they live lives, and they don't like that their young people are thrown into a battle royale every year. You think a marriage is gonna make them forget that? This isn't some creepy Capitol guy touching Katniss. This is some creepy extra touching Jennifer Lawrence.
Hold hands.
If Katniss and Peeta heard that, then certainly some Capitol people heard that and know this marriage is a sham.
What's this?
It's for when you're full.
It makes you sick. So you can go on eating.
How else could you taste everything?
Wow, a society that's racist, classist, and bulimic. Philip Seymour Hoffman is in a movie that is beneath him in this scene. Haha, gross. Again with the cracked open security door? Are you f***ing kidding me? Did a 12-year-old write this movie? What the f***ing fuck?
But maybe if we got away from here, if we went somewhere safe, it could be different.
Or maybe President Snow is recording this conversation and you're giving away your entire plans, you forgetful, stupid person. Every last soldier doesn't see Gale running toward their commander right now. I'm trying to figure out whether this is brave or stupid. I mean, maybe Gale thinks he'll be a martyr or something, but he really doesn't seem to have much of a plan before tackling this guy. I better run. That sounds exactly like my secret boyfriend getting beaten in the square.
You recognize her? Katniss Everdeen?
F***ing seriously?
Get him more snow.
Man, they would have been f***ed if Gale had gotten himself whipped in the summertime.
The broadcast cut out here.
After Gale tackled this dude, they immediately went here for the flogging, and they got a camera at a slightly elevated angle to broadcast it. But where's the camera? It would have to be in this building somewhere. If they have cameras everywhere, including this scene where they caught the stolen kiss, then how can Katniss somehow sneak out into the woods into restricted areas whenever she wants? Let's face it, these cameras are wherever the movie needs them to be for the convenience of the plot.
The male and female tributes are to be reaped from the existing pool of victors in each district.
I take it from the reaction that this is the wrinkle Plutarch was talking about, and it was unexpected. But what were the rules of the other quarter quells? The movie sure as hell isn't telling you that. 47 minutes in, and we're still just setting shit up here.
PETA has to survive. We have to do whatever it takes to save him.
What? Since when is PETA Neo? Why is he the one that obviously needs saving?
If they call his name, I'll volunteer in his place.
But that isn't how this quarter quell should work at all. How can you have an all-star edition of the Hunger Games but still leave the volunteering intact? I know they just want Katniss in the games and they know no one can volunteer for her, but with such a small pool of contestants, leaving that rule in is dumb.
We should have gone when you said.
What a dick. The last time we saw people do this three-finger flip-off salute, a dude got shot in the head for it, and people died. But this time, f*** it. We got these games, so we're fine with letting people rebel now.
But this year you'll be facing other victors, and they all know one another.
Why is that? We saw Katniss and PETA went back to live in District 12 after they won, except for the victory tour, which was a whopping 12 days, so when did the victors from the previous games have time to spend with other previous year's victors to get to know one another? Do they have conventions, like, annually, and Katniss and PETA just haven't been victors long enough for this year's convention to occur?
I want you guys to forget everything you think you know.
Forget everything you think you know, cliché.
You go it alone, their first move is gonna be to hunt you down.
I don't know what Haymitch expects here. Katniss can't even make the relationship between she and PETA believable. How's she gonna win friends with all the other killers who are already friends with each other? Did they all continue a rigorous workout regimen after they won? Did not a single previous victor ever have the moral quandary about winning that Katniss and PETA have? Did more than 5 seconds of thought go into the plot of this movie?
The Morphlings, masters of camouflage.
Does every district have a male and female winner from different years to even go to this? Because I'm calling bullshit on that. Wouldn't there be districts that don't even have any victors?
But I would love to borrow that outfit someday.
Katniss doesn't borrow that outfit right now. With the arrival of Toby Jones, we now have way too many people who played Truman Capote in this movie. That is a ton of timpani. Oh, I see they spent a good portion of the bigger sequel budget on the fire effects. Still not enough, though.
From District 11?
This is what any of us would want to do upon meeting Jennifer Lawrence, but actually doing it? That's a sin, man. Not cool. Cameraman forgets to pan down. Isn't PETA gonna brush up on his cake decorating? What's the point of the individual evaluations? Are these people not all already cleared for the games simply by being chosen? Are they gonna disqualify you if the talent portion of your program isn't satisfying to them? I mean, someone painted a picture on the floor here as their skill. That old-ass lady did something, God knows what, maybe hugging. But is there really anything on the line here? Do they have another female former victor that can take Katniss's place if she somehow flunks this f***ing evaluation? All the other tributes use words to try and win over the sponsors, but Katniss's only weapon is fashion. I have a feeling Snow isn't gonna go his way. So even the psychopaths in this group don't want these games to happen? Why does the fashion designer go with the tribute when they're about to get thrown into the games? Who does PETA have escorting him? It's not Effie.
The more allies she betrays, the more friends she kills, the more she reveals her true self.
Why is President Snow even buying this? Katniss is not a real killer, and the last games proved that. It takes 83 minutes for the actual Hunger Games to begin in the second Hunger Games movie. You could start this movie, go and watch the entirety of South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, 81 minutes, including credits, and still get back before the actual games start. And I suggest you actually do it that way.
Duck.
Random psycho killer apparently had no plan when he ran towards these two, but man, were his footsteps ever silent. How did PETA win? Did he choke that dude to death underneath the water after that dude pulled him down? That was f***ing quick for a guy who's never killed anyone before. Unnecessary tension over whether PETA might die when we all know that if he dies, it won't be because he hacked a force field with a sword.
Cannon ready.
Here we go with those cannon ready orders again. Doesn't the cannon person know their job? Are they too busy doing Sudoku puzzles?
Do you want to stand up?
Katniss asks a guy whose heart stopped if he wants to stand up 4 seconds after it started beating again. Stupid Pan Am game maker programs colorful lizard into the game arena just so the director can have this fun little establishing shot. Here are all those people we didn't have time to give a shit about.
What is it?
I think it's a spile.
I guess Haymitch can't write on the note what the gift is. She's got to guess. Cheating.
Finnick, we have to go.
I'm amazed they got this far away from the fog to be able to care for PETA and then have this dramatic moment, but the fog was right on top of them just before Finnick started screaming. Sorry, you should be dead. Get a cannon ready. Magical Hill comes up out of nowhere to help them fall to safety. Now the fog is disappearing altogether. We learn later it's because each threat is contained to its own quadrant, but that's really f***ing stupid. How can you have tributes running through an invisible force field that somehow contains fog? Magical water comes out of nowhere to help wash off the poison.
We need our weapons.
Katniss makes it sound like PETA should just be able to quickly backtrack a route they took while running in panic from a killer fog. Sci-fi heroes surrounded by angry monkeys cliché. Well, our common ancestor isn't a monkey, but I have a feeling that the villains in movies copied their one-at-a-time attack patterns. Clever application of the monkeys hate saltwater science fact, which everyone knows. How can she possibly still have that many arrows left? That's like the same amount she had in the first place.
Do you have fresh water?
We can get some.
How? PETA left the spile in the tree way back when the f***ing monkeys attacked.
See anything?
These freaking idiots immediately start ignoring the genius who helped them figure out the clock thing, even though she's still clearly rambling important things. Oh, come on. You know for a fact that's not Prim. I mean, seriously, come on. They might have been better off just leaving the fire effect shitty and giving the extra CGI budget to these jabberjays.
If you die, and I live, I'd have nothing. Nobody else that I care about.
What was all that bullshit you were screaming earlier about having a family to protect?
Well, I have family too. Okay, people that I need to protect.
Because gravity.
The plan was always to get you out.
And put you in the most difficult arena in the history of the Hunger Games to accomplish that plan. Also, what was the plan before Katniss shot the dome with her electric arrow? Sure, they cut out her tracker, but everything is televised. You know, nothing is secret. How are they going to accomplish all of this without Katniss doing what she did?
I ain't got him out in time.
Gale tells Katniss he got them out in time, so she has to figure out what the hell he meant by that. Okay, so there's no more District 12, lots of stuff hanging in the air, and you won't be able to see what happens until next year, when we deliver you The Hunger Games Mockingjay. Part 1. Oh, and by the way, f*** you. Over 10 damn minutes of credits.
Get to the beach.
See, Katniss, the way the whole friend thing works is you have to tell each other the deep stuff.
The deep stuff.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, like what?
Like,
What is your favorite color?
I'm not quite dead, sir. I think I could pull through, sir.
Last year was child's play.
Run! Run! The fog is poison!
Silent Green is people!
for you.
It's the pearl.
The black pearl.
Thank you.